Pokemon Go has become one of my many time passers when I'm out train watching by myself. Dalton is loaded with gyms and stops, including 4 just around the freight depot. At the moment, I've got 3 Pokemon in the many gyms around the downtown area. My attention was soon drawn back to the railroad as an NS Intermodal was approaching, an SD60E on the point. It's early morning on the 4th of July 2017, and I hoped there would be some good action today. After the stack train cleared, I headed off to breakfast. Unfortunately, the only good place to eat this time of the morning, at least by my personal preference, is the Steak and Shake on Walnut Avenue, far from the tracks. I got my food and ate it on the way back to the tracks, just in time to see the power already gone by on an empty well car train. While waiting for him to clear, the headlight of a CSX train waiting to cross the diamond caught my attention. I moved down to view the power to see that, instead of CSX blue and yellow, I was met with NS black and white. For some reason, the steps on the rear ES44 were taped off with caution tape. I knew he would be moving soon, so I moved up to the north end of town across from conductors to catch him, and within minutes, he was given the clear signal to continue north towards Chattanooga. Three Tropicana juice cars ride mid-train. These have been showing up more and more since the doing away of the juice train. All of the cars now ride in stack train consists. Afterwards, I headed up to the public parking deck in the middle of downtown. This is a very handy spot because you can see both the northbound and the southbound signals from the deck. A green signal on the NS told me a southbound was on the way, and within minutes, here came NS 371, the southbound Georgia Local. 371 runs Chattanooga, Tennessee to Rome, Georgia. He'll make a stop on the south end of town to switch the local yard before continuing, and that means no one will be getting around him for at least an hour. This train and its northbound sister, NS 370, have always been interesting because you never know what will be pulling it. A week prior, I caught 370 on Waring Road with a CN-9 second out. Further down the road, 371 was holding at Waring to meet 370, with an SD80 Mac and a standard cab SD60 dead in tow. I knew 371 would be moving soon, so I beat it back to town to catch him. 7226 is one of the former Conrail SD80 Macs which NS acquired from CSX a few years ago. Back to the present, the signal has gone green for a CSX stack train, Hugh 10 something. I didn't quite make out his ID. After the stack train comes NS 734, loaded BNSF coal from the Powder River Basin bound for Macon. I broke off here and decided to chase 734 to South Dalton. I got ahead of him easily. A little too easily.
Where is he? Thought he was right behind me.
Since I was too far ahead, I worked my way to the far south end of town. I caught sight of CSX Local A702 switching in their yard, but at this point 734 had caught up to me, so I moved quickly. With an SD70 ACE and a GEVO on the head end, and a pair of Aces as the DPUs, 734's got plenty of power to make it over Braswell Mountain before arriving in Atlanta for his crew change. Back to the north end of town, just in time for NS 174, Macon to Elkhart, Indiana manifest traffic. More BNSF power. .174 is an interesting case among Georgia Division manifests as it regularly uses a DPU on the end of the train. Today, even with his short consist, is no exception. He'll turn off the main line at Cohutta onto the I line towards Cleveland and Knoxville. The storms that followed ended my Independence Day railfanning and sent me heading for home. In downtown Dalton, Georgia, this is Ravenhawk 6910, signing off.